Welcome back to episode 14 of the Clean Bulk series, and today I'll be taking you through my leg workout. Normally I like to split up quads and hamstrings to make it a little bit more manageable, but sometimes I find the pre-workout takes over and I have the energy to hit both, which was the case here. Ever since my show, which was back in April, I've been prioritizing hamstrings over quads because they're a weak point of mine, and by doing so I've been increasing the frequency, which basically just means training them more often, and for me this is 2 times a week. I've also increased the volume, which means the sets and reps that I've been doing for the hamstrings. So I started off with the seated hamstring curl. I love starting off with this isolation type exercise because I find that it really develops that mind-muscle connection and I can able to really feel that contraction. And I find that this sets me up great for the rest of my workout because I'm able to get the muscle firing that I'm planning on working, and I feel more of the muscle working during my other movements. So I did 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps, really focusing on squeezing at the bottom with a slow, controlled eccentric focus. I normally prefer the seated variation just over the lying variation because I find it's easier to stabilize my body and let my hamstrings do all the work instead of having my body move, and I find that I'm able to get a better squeeze and contraction on the muscle. Second exercise was the dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. I find the dumbbell variation really allows me to hinge at the hip better, allowing for that deep stretch that I want to feel in the hamstrings while avoiding the lower back discomfort. Once a week I will do heavy barbell Romanian deadlifts because I really want to stimulate my hamstrings to grow with the goal of progressively overloading them as well. I like to keep the dumbbell path as close to my legs as possible, and because of how tight and unflexible I am, I have a hard time keeping my chest up and not rounding at the back. I'm really working on fixing this. But yeah, I kind of feel good. You just want to go down to the point where you feel your hamstrings activated, and once you reach that, you can come back up. The final exercise that I did for the hamstrings was a standing leg curl. I really like this one because you're able to work it unilaterally. I find that my right hamstring tries to take over on some of the hamstring movements that I do. So by doing this one, I find you're able to make sure you're working both sides evenly. I like to really focus on driving the pad to touch my glutes. I find that that's the best activation that I get in the hamstrings, and it's also using full range of motion. If you don't have this piece of equipment, you can perform this standing in front of a leg press machine. I'll show you the video of me actually doing it, and you actually do the reverse motion of a leg extension. So here you can see in the clip me performing the standing variation with the leg extension machine. So now it's time for the quad portion of the workout, and I started things off with the back squats. Back squats also hits the hamstrings and glutes, and since I've already pre-fatigued them from the first part of the workout, I decided to only work my way up to 225 and really focus on the reps. The first set you see here is only 135. I'm making sure to get the full depth while keeping my core tight and chest up. Form is extremely important for squats because, like any other exercises, it's harder to bail out when the weight starts to get heavy. So you definitely, if you feel the weight starting to get heavy, maybe try getting a spotter and try to avoid letting your knees cave in. And in order to keep a tight core, what I'd recommend is try wearing a weightlifting belt. I find this helps to really stabilize your core during the movement. And if you have bad ankle mobility, I found that by putting something underneath your heels, whether it be a platform or like a 5-pound plate, really helps you get the depth that you're looking for. So yeah, try those things out. And another variation of the back squat is the front squat, which is more quad dominant, but today I decided to do the back squat. So this is 225 here. It actually went up pretty nice today. I probably could have went heavier, but because I wanted to do some other leg presses and various other exercises, I decided to stick with the 225 and just really focus on the reps. So the next exercise was the leg press. To keep this exercise more focused on the quads, I like to position my feet in about the middle of the platform, but I'm thinking of pressing through with my toes. I find that this is the most effective way to actually hit the quads with this exercise. Only go down as far as is comfortable to your knees and avoid locking out at the top of the movement. It should be one smooth pressing motion. One interesting way to spice up this exercise, I find, is to work with up to a weight that you're able to handle about 10 to 12 reps. And then when you are on your last set, do a triple drop set, back down to only a plate remaining on either side. I find that this is a great burnout way to really get your quads pumped. So the final exercise I did for the quads was the leg extension, but there's a certain way that I'm actually performing this exercise that allows me to put more of the focus on my upper quad. I actually found this exercise out by watching Jay Cutler perform it in a video. So what I'm doing differently than a normal leg extension is that when I'm actually bringing my leg up and at full extension, I'm thinking about pointing my toes while I am pointing my toes outwards, as you can see from the side view here. I find that placing my hand on my upper quad area and really squeezing when I get to the top helps really establish that mind-muscle connection. And after doing this for the first time for a couple workouts now, I've been sore for a couple days. But by making these little adjustments in your workouts, I find that it really puts the art back into bodybuilding, and it will actually improve the little details in your quads. So I would definitely highly encourage everyone to give this one a try. And finally, the part of the leg workout that no one wants to see, just because how boring it is, working the calves. The reason why I included this in the video is I wanted to explain how important it is to go down all the way when you're performing the calf exercises to really get that deep stretch. You don't want to be bouncing up and down, which is commonly see a lot of people do when they're working the calves. Not only could you get injured, but you're not increasing the time under tension that's needed to actually build your calves. So yeah, don't bounce and make sure you use the full range of motion and really try to develop that strong mind-muscle connection with it. So on this variation, I'm doing the standing calf raise, and I also do some seated variations as well in different videos that you might have seen. I like to include both variations. I find that it's good for actually developing the overall calves. So that's a wrap of my leg workout. Hope everybody enjoyed the workout and got something out of the voiceovers that I provided. The workout probably took me a total of about an hour and a half, and that's also including the dynamic warm-up that I did at the start. Probably took me about 5 or 10 minutes for the warm-up. I can't stress enough the importance of actually warming up though. I know a lot of times you just want to get into the gym and you're drinking the pre-workout, and the last thing you want to do is to spend 5-10 minutes just getting your body ready. But the warm-up actually serves a lot of great purposes. It first of all reduces your chance of getting injured, which is like the most important thing. But it gets your body ready for the workout. So you're just not jumping in cold, especially in the winter. I know it's the summer now in most places, but yeah, like it just gets your body ready to go, and it gets your muscles firing. So it actually can lead to better pumps and a better workout overall, and it can actually lead to you being stronger in the gym as well. So warming up is very important. A lot of people use the excuse that they don't have time to warm up. The way that I look at it is if you have time for the workout, then you have time for the warm-up. The warm-up's only going to take you about 5 or 10 minutes, and if you're skipping the warm-up, then just think about the chances. If you were to get injured from not warming up properly, you could be out of the gym for weeks, months, or maybe even up to a year, depending on how serious the injury was. So is that really worth it? All that time away from the gym, all that progress that you're not making, just to spend that 5-10 minutes at the start of your workout warming up. So that's what kind of got me making sure that I do warm up. My mind automatically goes there now, is that I need to warm up, because the last thing I want to happen is an injury. And plus, I find that once you find like a decent warm-up routine, you just get into it. Like once you find something that works for you, it's very easy to not skip a warm-up, and it makes it actually more enjoyable. So yeah, maybe I'll post something on the channel in the next couple videos about a warm-up. But yeah, for now, I would totally recommend warming up. Sometimes you're working your butt off in the gym and you're not seeing the results that you want. Every couple of days or maybe even a couple of months, you're looking at yourself and you're assessing your progress. And if you're just not making the gains, you're not making the improvements that you want. Yeah, I know this can be very, very frustrating, but there are some simple fixes and there are some simple solutions to why you might not be seeing it and why you actually might be losing gains instead of actually making them. And you're not really making the progress that you could be if you're doing the following things right. So I just want to discuss a couple things that you might not be doing right, and just some quick fixes. So the first reason might seem obvious, but it's you're just not eating enough protein. I feel like a lot of people, there's a lot of science that's surrounding this concept of how much you should eat and when you should eat it. But honestly, in order for you to understand how much protein you need to eat, you first need to understand how much protein you actually are eating. So the only way to actually do this is to track your protein intake daily and just keep a record of it. And like if you are more of a person that wants to keep it on with a pen and paper, or keep it in your phone. But this requires actually tracking your macros, your proteins, fats, and carbs, and just kind of picking a protein target and hitting it each and every day and being consistent with it. There's a lot of recommendations for how much protein you should actually eat, anywhere from 0.8 to up to 2 grams per pound of body weight. What I would recommend is starting off with about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you'd be eating 200 grams of protein. I just think that the 0.8 is a little bit low, considering people that are in the gym and they're working to build muscle. I just think that you're better off just being a little bit more aggressive with it, and then starting off at the 1 gram and going up from there. But yeah, you definitely need to know how much protein you're actually eating, and then set your protein target at around 1 gram per pound of body weight, and do that. Try to hit that number consistently and track it. Like, that's the most important thing, because you don't know how much. If you just don't track anything, you don't weigh your food, and you just freeball, or you're just doing everything based off estimate, then your numbers aren't going to be right, and then you actually have no idea really what you're doing. It's just a guessing game from there. So I would totally recommend that start tracking your protein and really hit those numbers and be consistent with it. So the second reason is actually nutrient timing and the anabolic window. The reason why I do that is because there's a lot of hype and a lot of myths that are actually associated with whether or not the anabolic window is what it is. And honestly, I'll take any advantage that I can get. It's definitely not going to hurt you. It's not going to hinder your progress. And if anything, it's going to potentially improve it. It might be marginal, but at the end of the day, it's progress, and that's what we're all looking for. So in terms of nutrient timing, I like to plan my... First of all, I like to take my post-workout and my pre-workout nutrition very seriously. I like to plan my meals around my workouts. I just find that it gives me better gym performance. It makes me feel better about myself to know that I got a good solid meal in and I'm hitting that anabolic window after my workout. So in terms of like my pre-workout, I normally work out in the afternoon as of right now. So depending on your schedule, you may want to adjust it accordingly, but I normally have breakfast in the morning, and then I have lunch. So the lunch normally does me for my workout for the afternoon. I try to eat it about an hour or two before I head to the gym. And honestly, I've been getting a lot of stir fries in. I find it's a great way to get the rice. I do it with chicken, so it's like chicken, rice, and veggies. So it's a good way to get your veggies in. It's a good way to get a full balanced meal in, and it gives me the energy, and it's sustainable. Like, it's easy to do. And it tastes good. That's what I'm doing right now is the stir fries. But I find that gives me the fuel that I need, and I'm waiting about an hour and a half for it to digest, and then I head to the gym. And then after the gym, I'm trying to hit that anabolic window. I know that it's not as important as you might think it is to hit it. I mean, your body's still going to respond whether or not you get it in within the 30 minutes after your workout. But you definitely want to get something in if you can. Like I said before, why not? Any advantage is an advantage, and if it's something as easy as just getting nutrients in after your workout, I'm definitely up for it. So yeah, normally after the workout, I'll probably just have a protein shake, but I like to put a banana in there for the carbs. I just find that it treats my body good, and I'm able to get it in quick. And then I use a whey protein just because it's a faster digesting protein. Your body is basically depleted of all the carbs that you use during your workout, and the protein gets there to help you build the muscles and repair the muscles, help them grow. So the protein shake is after my workout, and it's like later in the afternoon by the time I get home. So I normally follow that up with like supper, which would be like a piece of fish and maybe some more rice depending on how I'm feeling. But I've been pretty consistent with the fish lately for supper. So that's probably about like anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour after I work out. So I'm getting my nutrients around my workouts, and I'm planning everything accordingly. So I think that's very important. And in terms of like the evening, I like to snack more in the evening than I do during the day. So I'm saving my nutrients, I'm saving my calories, not my nutrients. I'm saving my calories for later on in the day. So I'm having at least 2 high protein snacks after I actually eat supper. One being right before I go to bed, which is a slower digesting protein. It's cottage cheese. And I understand that a lot of people might not like cottage cheese. I've shared my recipe for it multiple times on my channel, and I'll do it again. But basically what you do is you make a cottage cheese pudding. I'm sure I'll have it up in an upcoming video, and I'll show you guys again. But it's actually delicious, and I find that allows me to get the protein in before I go to bed. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm not going catabolic. I'm actually staying anabolic while I sleep, or that's the goal, anyways. And then I have my eggs in the morning. So, but yeah, that's kind of the idea, is the nutrient timing, and just kind of, if it's going to give you an advantage, it's definitely not going to hurt you, then I'm all up for it. So I think that a lot of people just need to be able to take their pre-workout and post-workout nutrition a little bit more seriously, and surround their carb timing and their nutrient timing around when they actually work out, and leave room for at the end of the day if you're a snacker. So the third and final reason why people might be losing gains is simply just because of the lack of sleep that they're getting. not only can sleep affect your gym performance, but it also can increase your chance of getting injured. Just because you're going through a sluggish type workout, you're not really all there, and you're not giving it your all. So sleep is very, very important. And a lot of people put the emphasis on what they're actually doing on, like working in the gym and how they're training and stuff like that. I think the importance needs to be placed more so on what you're doing after the gym. In order to optimize muscle recovery, you got to make sure that you're getting proper nutrition, supplementation if you're taking different supplements, and also being able to get to sleep. I feel like you have to have a solid sleep schedule. You have to be able to get at least, for me, everybody's different. For me, I like to get like 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night. But anyways, I would probably start off around 7 to 8 hours, and make sure you pick a bedtime that allows you to get that. Not only will you find that your workouts are more energized, but it could lead to more muscle growth just simply because you're able to recover better through your workouts. So yeah, I would say that the biggest advice that I would have with sleep is just to really set a schedule, stick with it for a couple of months just to see how you feel, and assess whether or not you need more. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people definitely don't get enough rest. And I mean, you can train as hard as you want in the gym, but it's the recovery process after that really I think a lot of people just kind of forget about and don't put the importance on. So yeah, that's the third and final reason. So those are my top 3 reasons to why people might actually be losing gains instead of making them, or just simply not making the progress that they could be if they were doing the following things right. Yeah, so like I said in the previous point there with the lack of sleep, I think a lot of people are too worried about what they're actually doing in the gym, and I think that the choices that you make outside of the gym can be more important, like optimizing recovery and making sure you're hitting your macros and actually understanding what you're eating and how it affects your body. Yeah, so those are my top 3 reasons. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you took something from them. I do have a lot of different things coming up in terms of dates and announcements to make, so I'd just like to share some dates with you. So I recently just dropped my first fitness facts on the kiwi fruit on July 8th, and that will be updated, like I said, every Monday. So there's going to be a new topic every single Monday. So tomorrow, which is July 15th, a new fitness facts will be released. So I'm excited to share that. That's found on my website, which is marklewisfitness.ca. So yeah, I can check that every Monday for a brand new topic. And I'm also very excited to announce that the podcast episode 1, that's going to be released every Thursday. So actually it's going to be on July 18th will be the first episode of the podcast. And I've actually got a special guest with me, Wayne Miller, who's the owner of Downtown Nutrition, which is a health food store in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And he actually owns his own supplement company. So I was able to sit down with him and have a conversation. And I think it's definitely worthwhile tuning in. It was really an interesting conversation, and I took a lot from it. So I'd appreciate if you guys could check that out. And also episode 15 of the Clean Bulk series for my YouTube. So I'll have another YouTube video up on July 21st, which will be the Sunday, so a week from today. And I'm hoping everyone is enjoying the series. It takes a lot of time to put the videos out, so I would really appreciate if you could like the video, give it a thumbs up. It raises awareness for my channel, and it might expose somebody who's interested in this type of content to get to see it and to like it and to view it. So I'd really appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up. And if you're new or you haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit the subscribe button. Like I said, I have a lot in the works, and I have lots of different videos and lots of different ideas, and I'm looking to share my knowledge. I provide informative content, and I put a lot of work into it. So I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. I'm sharing my fitness journey as well, so I'm hoping to motivate others that way. Yeah, so like I said, I have a bunch of great content coming up, so check out for those release dates, and check my website, which is marklewisfitness.ca, for all the great things that I'm working on. And for those who are interested in taking their fitness to the next level, you can register for my online fitness coaching directly on my website, which is marklewisfitness.ca. Make the investment in your fitness journey. I offer customized training, customized nutrition, and weekly check-ins, all at an affordable price. And my programs are 12 weeks in total, which is 3 months. So definitely check out my website. I'm really excited to be able to work with people and help people reach their goals. So yeah, definitely check out the website and see what kind of programs, see the programs that I offer, and see the free content that I'll be releasing and I put out each and every week. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. And also I have a question that I'd like you guys to respond in the comments. What is your favorite cheat meal? And for me, I would say it would probably have to be pizza. Donair pizza for me is is definitely my favorite. I could definitely win a pizza eating competition, I feel, because I can eat a lot of pizza. But yeah, I would say my favorite cheat meal would happen to be pizza. So in the comments, I would like to hear everyone's favorite cheat meal. And yeah, that does it for this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed the video and got something out of the leg workout that I did as well and the informative that I provided. And until next time, all right, guys, peace out.